And we're back. So our first task for this week, or really your principal task, is to come up with a prediction of velocity everywhere within this lobe, right? The velocity that material potentially could have been ejected from, uh, given that it was ejected from this crater here. To do that, one thing that we're going to need to know is the distance stuff actually traveled. And the first step in doing that is going to be actually making a raster of the lobe here. To do that, we're first going to need to trace the lobe. So I'm going to go to my volcanic lobe. I'm going to go to my editor toolbar. I'm going to start editing. I'm going to hope that this works despite being in a geodatabase. Personal geodatabase, there I am. Dun 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 dun, volcanic lobe, and I'm going to just digitize around this. Now bear in mind that I am a professional and I'm going to do this very quickly because I am not actually being graded on this. You, however, will be graded on this and thus might want to give it a little bit more thought than I am right now. Also, this is not the first time I've actually outlined this, so I have sort of an idea about where I'm going to be going with this, and I'm going to finish it off with something like that. Great, now we can go ahead and stop editing already. So editor toolbar, where did you run off to? Of course I want to save my edits editor toolbar, that's so silly. I'm going to make it hollow because I think it's easier to see what's going on there. Great. Now what I want to do is I want to take this shape file and I want to know how far each point within that shape file is from the center point of this crater. I'm just going to say that everything got ejected out of the center here. To pull that off, right, I sort of need a raster, right? A raster is like has some spatial extent to it, and within that spatial extent there are data values every specified interval. Yeah, so let's try to convert this polygon to a raster. So as opposed to previous weeks where you saw me doing things that I knew exactly how to do, now you're going to see me trying to figure things out. So what do I want to do? I want to take a feature and I want to turn it into a raster. So I'm just going to search feature to raster. Oh, no, no things. Maybe that's because there's no razors out there. Let's try feature to raster. 3D analyst. Ooh, feature to raster. Conversion. That sounds possible. Sometimes when I'm looking for the right tool, I'll just click on it and I'll check out what it wants me to actually input. It wants a feature, it wants a field. A field, right, is what we've made in the past. That's one of the columns within the attribute table of our feature class, and it'll put out output raster with a specified cell size. This sounds like exactly what I want. So I'm going to put in my volcanic lobe. I am going to choose object ID for my field, right? When it's making this raster, it's going to have to assign the pixels some initial value, and right now I don't have distance from there. So to pull this off, I'm going to just assign them object ID, and it's just going to be some constant number. Not very exciting, but it will give me something to work with more in the future. Output raster, PC lobe, and you might want to tell yourself that it's a raster. Let's see if that was few enough characters. Great. Output cell size 5.98488680000231. Sounds pretty good, but I'm going to go with 10 and click OK. Let's see what happens. Let's wait patiently. We're still waiting. Isn't this fun? Uh-oh, the color scheme has been changed. Last time this happened, my video that I was making got destroyed. So I'm going to take this as a convenient moment to stop. Although if I stop recording, you won't see that it made this beautiful raster. Oh, look at that, PC lobe raster. And because I chose object ID, everywhere has a value of 1. That's wonderful, and that marks a great point for me to